What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shyhammer Fantasy Battle Report, and I got Game 5, the final round of the Ocon tournament. I am actually more shocked that I got all 5 rounds and all 3 tag team rounds done while I'm on vacation, in between doing stuff. Like I went out fishing, went out to downtown Charlotte here, and just kind of been doing stuff in between. But like whenever I find a chance, I've been trying to get these reports to you guys, so I'm actually shocked I got it done. Anyways, I got game 5 now. I had first game was a massacre win. I destroyed my enemy. Second game, my enemy just destroyed the crap out of me. I mean, I was just outmatched in every way there, out deployed, outgunned. And then third game, I had a comeback game and I had a big massacre win. And then the fourth game, which was a game that scared the crap out of me, I actually pulled off a big massacre win. So I have 3 big massacre wins, which are huge. And I got secondary objective points and all that. So this last game is a pretty big game for me because it really depends on where I would fall in on in the standings. I mean, I have a good chance to be in the top 10. I have a good chance of getting up even higher depending on paint scores and all that crap. So I'm playing right now for to make sure I get a good win or a good standing at least. And so we're put up against our last opponent, and this is the guy I'm playing against is, I believe his name is Nick Rodrigo. I might be wrong about the Nick part, but I know it is Rodrigo for sure. I'm going to try to look this up really quick because I have it right here somewhere. It is Nick Rodrigo. I was right. And he comes out with a Dread Elf army. Now, the thing is, they pair us up. We go. We're out looking for food. All right. This is during the lunch break from round 4 to round 5. And we're out looking for food. And I don't blame this on Nick. I blame this on the city of Toledo, Ohio. Okay? There is nowhere to eat on a Sunday at all. And my brother Ian and Dan and I were all looking for like just a sub place like Subway. And everything was closed. Everything was closed. And this is just odd to me because I live in Chicago and everything's open on Sunday like always. So I'm just like, oh man. So we were like looking. We finally found a pizza place and we got our food. We brought it back. But my opponent apparently didn't have so much luck. He was like gone for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to affect our game. So I'm just eating my food there, watching my brother's game, watching other people play. And then Rodrigo finally comes on in. And I was like, all right, let's get going. So we kind of had to rush through this game because our time was very short. We cut off probably a half hour or so in this game. And it didn't allow us to get full turns. So the game towards the end, I think, changed dramatically. I think that the game towards the end of this would have been a lot different if we had more turns and had the different, like we didn't think that we were going to cut it short. We were just going to keep going. So, anyways, let's go over what I brought, what he brought. Sorry for the 3-minute intro here. I got a unit of Forest Goblins, 20 Forest Goblins. I got the Mother Gifts banner. I still have another 2 tournaments I'm playing where this banner's still in use, but after this it'll be the banner no longer exists. Gives them poison shooting. Over here I got a unit of Wolf Riders. And I don't think anything's changing with them. Over here I have Kabuto the Python, the level 2 Shaman of Wilderness, and he has a Red Ring of Fire. And then on the right I have Baxter, which is my level 2 Lore of Shadow. Now my Lore of Shadow is also going to be missing after these next 2 tournaments I'm doing, just because the rules update has changed it to, if you want Shadow, you have to take it in a level 3 or 4. So having a level 2 Shadow is no longer existent. Over here I have a unit of 12 crossbowmen, crossbow orcs, cross orcs. I call them orcs, Tooth's Ardboy, excuse me. And this unit will probably have to be upgraded to 20 minimum in the new update. Over here I have the Orc Ed Bashers. There's 32 of them. They do have the BSB with them. The BSB gives them the 5-up ward against shooting. And then I don't think much has changed with them, just a point increase, I believe. Over here I have Baron Longshot. Baron Longshot is a goblin hero with the Skull Splitter shotgun. And I'm honestly just contemplating, depending on point cost, I'm honestly just contemplating changing this to a level 1 or 2 Shaman. Because the shotgun is really his only gimmick. And I mean, he could right now as a hero charge into some War Machine and probably win the fight, but as a shaman, he could possibly just do a little bit more, pew pew damage with like a magic missile or something, and it would save me a cost of buying two different characters. Over here, this is King Koopa. King Koopa is a king, a goblin king on a huntman spider with dragon helm, sword of might, and or sword of whatever strength, and a sprout of rebirth. And then over here I have my two Git launchers. The Git launchers in the new update are getting cheaper actually, but their damage potential is kind of gimped. And then over here I have Dread Irontooth, Warboss Dread Irontooth. He is a orc lord, a black orc or iron orc lord, with quite a killing ratio in this tournament. Now, for the record, and this is kind of a spoiler to you guys, especially the people on the forums, talk about it's not competitive to bring a general on a wyvern in a tournament because you get shot down by cannons and such. Well, this is my 5th game at a tournament, and he has died once, and the only time he's died was actually to a unit of Kingdom of Equitane Knights. It wasn't to no cannons. So, I think he's holding his own for what his points are worth. Over here I got a unit of Nasher Herd. Again, these guys are getting a point increase in the new update. And then I have the A-Rock. The A-Rock has been extremely performing well in this whole tournament. Saving units, taking out units, saving my general. So right now A-Rock is in the running for probably my tournament MVP. We'll see how this game goes though. As for the update they increased the potential for the web launcher actually. So I think that it's definitely worth it. As for my level 2, he got Shadow Miasma and Orb of Blackness. As for my other level 2, he got Swarm of Insects, Redwood Shaft, and Curse of the Wildwood. He also has Fireball, of course. My opponent, he has Fireball, Smoldering Ember, and Burning Bolts. He has a level 3 of Fire that's on a Dark Pegasus or whatever, and he also has the Cloak that gives him a 3-up ward against shooting attacks or ranged attacks. Now, for deployment, I don't have his army picture per picture, again, because we're just trying to hurry it up. On the left, you can kind of see he has an altar with his general on it. He has a unit of executioners, about 25 executioners, right next to the altar. And then in front, he has a unit of, I think they're they used to be shades. I'm not so sure what they're called now. I'm going to try to make this really quick and find out. Not Tower Guard. Raven Cloaks, I want to call them. Yeah, they're Raven Cloaks, definitely. And then in the right side, he has a huge unit of 26 or 28 Corsairs. They do have the BSB with them. He has 3 bolt throwers. He has 2 units of these guys in the back, which are, they're not Dread Knights. Dread Reapers? No, they're not Dread Reapers. Those are the crossbows. Let's see. Dark Acolytes. He has 2 units of Dark Acolytes. And then he has 2 more units over there of the Dark Raiders, and then I think that's about it. I kind of put my Git launchers on the left. I'm going to pull this picture back up. I kind of put my Git launchers on the left on the hill, so it kind of makes him think that's where I'm going to bunker up. But what I ended up doing was I actually gave myself room on the right side, and I'm using that hill as a distraction, and everybody's actually hiding behind the hill, so that way he really can't shoot my general, can't shoot my level 2 or long shot with his bolt throwers. He's going to start coming this way, and I'm going to just sweep to the right. That was my whole strategy. That's my plan. For the roll-off, he did drop his whole army first, but he rolled a 3 or 4, and this tournament only gives you a +2. So I rolled, and I got a 6. So it's going to be Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Of course, I take my Vanguard, and my Wolf Riders move up. Now, like I said, I'm trying to just focus on moving my army to the right and sweeping around the altar. I'm not trying to attack the altar or the executioners head on. I'm not trying to attack the Corsairs head on. So I'm just going to go ahead and move right. And I also have to take care of the bolt throwers first before I can start moving my big guys, because I'm kind of worried that he's just going to start shooting my big guys, no problem. So I moved my Wolf Riders up here to be on the flank of his Corsairs, and also kind of redirect his redirectors. Now, since he has so much shooting, and most of these guys, almost everybody in his army has repeater crossbows. Okay, so his shades have repeaters, his guys, his raiders have repeaters, and that even his corsairs have hand throwing weapons. So I'm just like, I have to get rid of them. I moved Koopa all the way on the far right because I kind of figured most people have been ignoring Koopa in this game, in this tournament in general. So I have Koopa coming up to the right, and I'm just going to have him kind of go for the bolt throwers. That's his job. He has two in the middle there that he could probably take out both, and if anybody gets in the way, I know he could probably take them out. I have the A-Rock coming up around the building, and it's a little poor placement on A-Rock because the building's kind of like so narrow that he could barely fit through, but I think he'll be fine. The Forest Goblins, I'm doing something really cool with them. I'm using them as a screen to my Squigs, because my Squigs are the most vulnerable unit here against all the shooting. So since they're so susceptible to being shot at, right now he'll probably need to hit me on 3s normally, 4s for long range, 5s for multi-shot, and then 6s to hit a skirmishing unit. So I'm using those Forest Goblins as a shield. The Orcs don't have to worry so much because they have armor and a ward save against the shooting, so they'll be okay. And then the Ardboys, I kind of angled them a little bit wrong, but at the same time they're fine. They can shoot whoever they want to shoot, really, as long as he doesn't move up too much. Magic Fade's got 7 power dice. And I go ahead and I throw up, what was it, like a dice on, maybe like Fireball, to hit this unit, and he armor saved the 1 wound I did. I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice onto Orb of Blackness, and I get it off, and I throw it right here. And I'm thinking, like, this will stop their movement, they probably won't march, or they probably won't shoot, and I'll be fine, and it'll kind of protect my left side, and it'll just slow down the left side again until I can do what I need to do. He lets it go through. I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice onto Insect Swarm, and he lets that one go through. I think he might have tried to stop that one, but it goes through anyways. And I throw all the dice, and look at this. Out of all the fucking dice I throw, I don't get a single 6. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, man. So I go ahead and I throw up a couple dice into Shadow Miasma. He stops that one. Let's go into Shooting Face. The Web Launcher is going to get the first blood of the day. Shoots it over here towards his Corsairs. It gets a direct hit. Kills 4 of the Corsairs and slows down their movement by 2. I go ahead and I shoot the Orc Ardboys at his Shades, or whatever they're called, coming up, and I kill 3 of those guys. That's pretty good. And then I go ahead and I use the Forest Goblins. They have an 18-inch range on his punks over here, and they're going to shoot at him, and they get 1 poison shot that goes through armor. And got my Git Launchers. My Git Launchers are both shooting at his General. His General has like a 2-up armor, a 3-up armor, and a 4-up ward, so I figure if I could just get rid of the armor to begin with and just try to shoot the General, I get both of them direct hits. Both of them are direct hits. And I get maybe 4 hits. And out of the 4 hits, 3 wounds. And out of the 3 wounds, he ward saved all 3. Not a scratch on him. Lucky son of a gun. Long Shot's going to help out with the shade problem, and he goes ahead and starts shooting at these guys, and he kills off 2 more. And then they don't panic. They're going to stay there, and it's going to start off Dread Elves turn 1. So, of course, as you can see, he notices that I have some shooting potential. He's more worried about my Git Launchers, because my Git Launchers could pop his General at any time. So he's going to start moving everything towards the Git Launchers like I originally planned. He moves his Corsairs. He redirects his Corsairs towards the center of the board, because that's where the fight is. He's keeping his 2 units in the back behind the hill back there, because he didn't buy the Doomfire upgrade, so he's just kind of using them as he doesn't want to kill the easy. He doesn't want me to kill the easy points, but at the same time he just wants to use them when he needs them. He moves up obviously the Raiders. Magic Face, he got 8 power dice. He goes ahead and he does, what spell does he do? You can see the girl in the background there. She's just chilling back there. She's gonna do, I think she tries to do a fireball, and she tries to shoot it at these guys. She does. She goes for the big fireball, and I dispel scroll it right now, right away, because I don't want my skirmishers dead in the beginning, and a fireball could just wreck them. So she goes ahead and does, oh man, what does she do? I think she does the one where it's like Smoldering Ember. Gives them, I want to call it Smoldering Ember. It gives them +1 toughness and a ward save onto the unit that he's standing in, or she's standing by. And does the Raging Fire, kills off 1 guy with the Raging Fire. And, no. I forgot what she does. Anyways, we're forgetting magic. We're going to shooting. Shooting, the Corsairs shoot at the Wolf Riders, kill off one Wolf Rider, or, I'm sorry, the guys on the right. The Raiders are going to shoot at the Wolf Riders. They kill off one Wolf Rider. That's where it goes. I'm sorry. I'm confused here. Now the Corsairs shooting, and they all have throwing weapons, and they have just a shit ton of throwing weapons. They shoot it at the Wolf Riders, and they just destroy that unit. They get a shit ton of hits, a shit ton of wounds, and just kill off my unit. As for his shades are going to go ahead and I keep calling them shades. They're not shades. Cloaks. His cloaks shoot at my Git launcher. They do 1 wound, and then somebody else shot at my Git launcher, and they end up finishing off the job. The bolt thrower. The bolt thrower shoots at it and just finishes off the job. The other 2 bolt throwers missed their target or didn't wound. It's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. For some reason, I don't have my movement phase pictured. And again, this is because we're trying to hurry the game up, so there's less pictures overall. I got 5 power dice. I go ahead and I throw up 2 dice onto Fireball. I shoot the shades because you know what? Or the cloaks. The cloaks are one of my issues right now. They're moving in on my Git launchers. If I could take care of them right now, it kind of gives me another chance to just worry about the back lines. So I go ahead and I shoot them with the Fireball, and I roll a 1 on the D6 and a 2 on the D3. So I got 2 shots, only 1 wound, only 1 shade, cloak, dead. Ugh, sucks, man. Alright, over here I'm going to throw up Shadow Meet the Ass on 1 dice. He doesn't stop it, it goes off, and I go ahead and I throw up 3 dice onto Swarm of Insects, and he dispels that one. We're going to go into Shooting Phase. Shooting Phase, long shot here is going to shoot at the shades, kills off 1 more. He still has 3 there. Man, they're getting closer and closer. Over here, my Goblins, my Forest Goblins, the Bushwhackers, are going to shoot at his Raiders over here. They kill off 3 Raiders. It causes a panic, and that one guy just runs that way towards the edge of the board. I kind of ignore that guy because I'm thinking to myself, the one guy is probably going to need like a 4 to rally, and he'll most likely fall off the table. The Web Launcher shoots again. This time I aim for the Executioners, and it gets a direct hit. Kills off, look at that, 7 of them. 7! Oh, shit. Not only does it kill 7 of them, it doesn't fail panic, of course, but he decides he doesn't want to use them for the rest of the game because he's worried that they got wounded too much and they're gonna lose combat. So he's just like, and he kind of keeps them back. So the A-Rock neutralized this whole unit. As for this Git launcher, shoots a direct hit onto his general again, and check out those wounds, double 1s. Didn't wound crap. That's all I got. I'm moving my guys up, as you can see. This is how my board looks. My Orc Ard boys probably missed whoever they're shooting at. His Corsairs are technically in the forest, so they're harder to shoot at right now. And it's going to go ahead and start off Dread Elves turn 2. Dread Elves turn 2, he's charging his Corsairs into my Forest Goblins. And I decided I was going to stand and shoot. I declared I was going to stand and shoot before I realized he's in the forest, I have long range, and I doing multi-tap. It's going to be 7s to hit and wound. And so I only get 2 wounds off through all that. And I was like, son of a gun, I should have done it differently. Over here, he's going to go ahead and do charge my Git launcher with his 3 cloaks, and I can't stop that. He gets in here, and he gets in here. His one guy does rally. God damn it! So close to getting him out. Magic Phase, he got 9 power dice, and he goes ahead and throws up a fireball onto my squigs. Kills off 2 squigs. He goes ahead and does Smoldering Ember, which gives these guys +1 toughness and a 5-up ward. Gives it to them, and that's not going to help them at all, or help me at all. He moves these guys to try to chaff up Koopa, and Koopa doesn't care. He shoots both bolt throwers at Koopa. First one hits but fails to wound. Second one hits and wounds, and I regened it right there on the spot. Bam! Koopa doesn't care, man. Close combat, these guys kill off the Git launcher, and they're going to overrun right into my Orcs. Now, the bad problem here is my general is technically cannot be able to see these guys because they're off the hill, and I'm behind the hill. So I can't see them. I can't save my Orcs on the next turn, but the Orcs should hold their own. They should be steadfast, whatever, right? Over here, this close combat, let's just say it like this. These guys are all attacking. I think they get like maybe 1 or 2 attacks apiece, plus their extra hand weapons, plus they're in horde formation and all this stuff, plus the BSBs in there. And I think there might be another character in there. I'm not entirely sure. He rolls like chunks and chunks of dice, maybe like 30 to 40 dice. And I just asked him, "Did you get at least more than 20 wounds?" And he's like, "Yes." It was like 28 or something wounds. And he just wiped out my forest goblins at one. I mean, like, I didn't even get a chance to attack back. He just wiped them out. Like, holy shit. He's going to overrun. He overruns right into the Nashers. And I'm like, crap. Now, my Nashers do have a chance to I mean, even if he gets 28 wounds off, I should be able to attack with maybe 2 Nashers. But that's if he gets the same rolls. So I'm just like, crap. But the good news is, I do have my counter charge, and I do have a magic phase that I could try to buff them up. So we're going to go to Orcs and Goblins turn 3, and here it is. Got a nice counter charge. My Orcs are standing right there. Gonna get a side flank. This will be beautiful, right? Koopa charges into the bolt thrower. He's like, ha 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 ha. He gets in like so. And these guys get in, and Koopa gets in. Magic phase got 9 power dice. Great. This is going to be the magic phase. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up a fireball to distract him. It fails. I go ahead and I throw up a shadow, or I throw up not shadow man. I throw up the beast to try to get rid of one of the bolt throwers, and I fail that spell. Then I go ahead and I throw up Shadow Miasma and Curse of the Wildwood, and he dispels both. He throws dice on one, and he used the spell scroll on the other. Son of a bitch, man! My magic sucked on this one, and it's I mean, I probably should have just focused more on the Shadow Miasma, throw like 5 dice on it, and 5 dice on the Curse. But he just outplayed me on the magic, which was bravo to my opponent here. Shooting phase, I'm gonna shoot a long shot over here into his general, and he does 1 wound. Good job, long shot. And then over here, his shades kill off, or his cloaks kill off 2 of my orcs. My orcs attack back, kill off 1 of his guys. I think I actually win combat. Well, no, I don't. He has a charge, downhill charge, 2 wounds. That's a 4. I have a banner and 1 wound. I lose by 2. But I'm steadfast, and I stick there. I'm going to go ahead and turn my orcs this way, facing off the shades. Over here, Koopa killed his bolt thrower, and he just rammed into the next bolt thrower. So I forgot to give him points for both bolt throwers. Anyways, I'll figure that out in a second. I'll just do it really quick. Boom, boom, boom. He has 1. Alright. So that boosted his points up a bit. Over here, he's going to challenge. I accept with the champ. His BSB challenges, and his BSB just kills my guy, max wounds 3. He goes ahead and attacks, and he kills off, holy crap, 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18 Nashers. 18 Nashers. The Nashers attack back. He has a +1 to his toughness, and he has a 5-up ward. I do like maybe 7 or 8 wounds, and he ward saves a good chunk of them, and the Nashers only kill 1. Oh my god. That is just horseshit. Well, maybe my orcs will save the day. My orcs attack, and I only have like 4 guys that are in combat. They're going to go ahead and attack, and they only kill off 4. Oh my god, I'm going to lose this combat. I had a nice side flank charge and everything. Look at my guys. I have more guys than him. I'm if we would stick, we'd be fine. So, I break. I lose combat by a huge amount, like 12 or 15 or something, so I have to break. My orcs are steadfast, though, so my orcs stick there, and plus they have the BSB with them. The Nashers, not so much. They're going to auto-run, and when they auto-run, they would, for some reason, I thought they were going to run. I don't know, I wasn't thinking, and again, we're trying to hurry the game up, so I just, we're going through the motions, and I didn't realize, oh shit, they're Nashers, they blow up. So we figure that out later. Later on, I think I kill like 1 orc, one Corsair with the blow up, and that was it. But man, he's gonna reform facing this way into my unit, and he makes himself into ranks. I probably should have followed the same strategy and put myself into ranks, but I don't know what I was thinking. It's gonna start off Dread Elves turn 3, I think this is. He charges a long charge from his general into Kabuto, and I decide I'm gonna flee. I'm like, I'm not going to deal with that freaking chariot. He's going to just kill Kabuto, and I need Kabuto right now. So Kabuto's going to flee. And then he redirects his chariot into my orcs, into the rear of my orcs. That sucks. He charges these guys that were sitting in the back the whole time into the rear of Koopa, and he gets in here, of course, and he gets in over here. This is going to be really brutal because he's going to have impact hits and a bunch of other shit. He's starting to move his guys this way towards my Ard boys who are fighting his cloaks, and as you can see, the A-Rock's just kind of like going nuts over on that side over there. Magic Phase, he got 8 power dice. He goes ahead and he throws up. This picture right here is when we find out that the squigs were still alive. So I lost one guy because of the squig. But he goes ahead and he throws up his fire ward onto these guys. Gets it off their +1 toughness and a 5-up ward. I tried to dispel it, but just couldn't. And then he throws up. I think he tried to throw up a fireball or something like that, and I stop it. We're gonna go to shooting. Shooting over here. He's gonna shoot at my A-Rock with his repeater bolts, and he only gets 1 wound off. And then over here, his cloaks kill 2 of my orcs. My orcs attack back, and they fail to wound at all. At all. I'm still steadfast. I roll the dice. My general's right there, and I fail. And his cloaks are going to run down my orcs. Oh, come on, man. These cloaks are just, they are extremely lucky. They took out a, they took out my Git launcher, they took out my Ard boys, and they took out my level 2 Shadow Shaman. Oh, man. And they're just kind of chilling in the background now. Over here, Koopa decides he's going to attack backwards. He kills off 2 guys in the back. His spider goes ahead, attacks backwards, doesn't do any wounds, but then the spider stomps one of the crewmen, kills off one of the crewmen off the crossbows, and it's going to go ahead and he has a charge, a rear charge, and that's about it. So he has like a 3, and I have a 3, and it's a push. He doesn't have a musician, and Koopa stands there for a round. He's just like, ha 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 ha. Koopa doesn't care. Over here, his impact hits alone kills 9 of my guys. I just decided I wasn't even going to take bodies off because I just know this is going to get brutal. My orcs attack here, kill off 2 of his guys. He goes ahead and attacks back. He kills off like another 9 of my guys. Man, oh man, my guys are going to run. I don't have enough ranks. I think I have like 1 rank. I'm not going to be steadfast. I'm going to run. I'm running away from the unit with the most units, and they're going to overrun and kill my unit, of course, and they're going to run to the left. Now, here's the question I had. His chariot should be more towards obviously where the orcs were dying at. Okay, I had to push his chariot back a couple inches to get my tray out, right? Which I don't think he saw. But he is saying from there, when the orcs flee, that his chariot would just go from where it's at. Like, say, if he ran 7 inches, he would just turn around and go 7 inches away. And I'm like, no, it's supposed to be from the break of the combat, which would have been where the Corsairs are. So the Corsairs, that would be 7 inches, and then the chariot would just go a couple more inches up. And there was confusion on that. We really didn't have time to get a judge to figure it out for us, so we just kind of just played it as is. It's going to go ahead and start off Orcs and Goblins turn 4, and then this is honestly where the game just got like rapid gaming, because we were already told we had like the 5-minute warning on the last round, so we're just playing this around really fast. I think my opponent didn't even want to play the round because he was like, there's just no way we're going to get all the combat done and whatever. And I was like, dude, well, we could try to get both rounds done. I even asked Andrew Sherman, I was like, Andrew, if we could just play this round really quick and we could figure it out. Andrew's like, just hurry it up, because they're still obviously adding up points, but they're already like calling all the games at this point. So we're just playing this round really fast, and it was like a speed round. And I was like, just worry about the units that are doing damage. Don't worry about the units that are just doing little minor moves, because that's not going to really do much. So his guys overran this way, right? And this is how they are. They're facing the rear of Dread, and they're facing the side of Longshot. So Dread goes ahead and charges his main Corsair block, okay, into the rear charge, and he's like, flee. So he flees him towards away from Dread, okay, center to center, and I decide I'm going to charge him again with Longshot, and he flees even further past his guys, but he stays on the board. Urgh! So I redirect both of them into his altar. And he decides he's going to flee because he's figuring it's the last turn of the game. He could just save points. So he goes ahead and flees this way, and I just try to chase him down with Longshot, but Longshot failed, and Dread just sits back and does nothing. Over here, Koopa finishes off the the bolt thrower. I don't think he wounded anybody in the back, but he he basically sits there, he doesn't go anywhere, and he'll be able to reform and face the front. And then that was it for this turn. I mean, Magic, I think I tried to throw out a fireball and whatever, didn't really matter, nothing really died. It's going to start off Dread Elf's turn 4. He tries to rally these guys, and they don't rally. And they run off the table. Oh man, his general does rally up here, and then his witch on the Pegasus over here is going to blow up long shot with a fireball and just kills him outright. That is the end of the game, guys. We added up the points, and it wasn't a big loss for the Orcs and Goblins, but it was a loss for the Orcs and Goblins. It was a 12-8 loss. So, at the end, I did save some points by getting the Corsairs off the table. And again, like I said, if this game was played, 2 more rounds, it would have been a totally different game because the A-Rock would have gotten into fights. It would have gotten into fights either with the Executioners or with the Corsairs, or he might even helped out with the Altar. One of my major problems here, and then right now Koopa took out 2 of the bolt throwers, so I only had 1 bolt thrower to worry about, and it really wasn't that big of an issue. And plus, I still had Kabuto alive. Kabuto would have been able to probably take out the other bolt thrower and probably been able to do more wounds to either unit. If his Corsairs would have stayed on, I know Dread would have been able to take them out. Dread, he was hitting with like strength 3 armor piercing hits, and it was a lot of wounds, but Dread's a 2-up armor. So I know Dread would have been able to finish off that unit, or the A-Rock would have been able to finish off that unit. If Dread and A-Rock would have gotten into the Executioners, I probably would have been able to finish them off as well. They would have been a higher strength, and they would have been doing a lot more attacks, but there was just no way in hell they would be able to take on both of those guys. They're the superpowers, both of those. And then if I was to got into his fight with his Altar might have given me an issue. But I think that was also, I don't know what he had defensively on it, and I know that's kind of why he was running away from Dread to begin with. He was just like, he couldn't take on Dread. So Dread and A-Rock and Koopa would have been able to mop up the rest of what was going on the table, unfortunately. I didn't get a chance to do so. And it was a loss. So we go ahead and put in our points. And I'm thinking, where am I going to fall? I had 3 Massacre wins, 1 huge Massacre loss, and 1 loss that was kind of like, teetering. And again, if I had more time, the game would have been probably different. It might have been different on his side, too. He might have done some things that were just been a lot better. The biggest disappointment in this game was the side flank charge with my Orcs. They should have took out that unit. And they just didn't. My Squigs, who've been on every game, there's just huge damage output. They didn't do shit. They killed like 2 Corsairs. And I mean, granted, it was maybe poor placement on my part. Maybe I should have just, honestly, when I did the stand and shoot on them, on the Corsairs, I probably should have just fleed. Because if I fleed, I only killed like 2 Corsairs with the stand and shoot anyways. And then, if I would have fleed, he would have been out of combat for another turn. I would have just been able to shoot him, mess him up, probably hit him with the A-Rock, whatever. So, my MVP in this game is, that's a tough one. Definitely wasn't the Orcs, definitely wasn't the Squigs. It was probably King Koopa. King Koopa was just like, and just attacking all the shit up on the top, and just nobody was stopping him. The A-Rock did some good damage, and the A-Rock gets an honorable mention for, limiting his Executioners from combat, and also taking out a good chunk of Corsairs before they got into combat. And Dread did okay, but I think I held Dread back for 1 turn, which really cost me. I think he would have been able to take on, if he would have been able to get a combo charge, either help out my Ard boys get out of the combat with the Shades, or if he would have been able to combo charge and help out the Nasher herd against the Corsairs. I think it would have been it would have been a swing in a different direction. So MVP is Koopa, and runner-up is definitely the A-Rock. Now for points in the whole tournament, I'm going to go ahead and just run through this really quick. And you guys are reading this while I say it out loud. Dread killed 310 points in this game because he got that unit to run off the table. He actually, for the tournament, got 1,051 points killed under his name. King Koopa, and this is honestly just counting per unit. I'm not counting, or per model, not counting actual, just like, oh, he made them run off the table, I get the full points for that. I'm talking about the ones that were left. That's how many he killed. King Koopa got 1113, and King Koopa is pretty beastly right there. Baron Longshot got a 740, which is pretty impressive, and he got most of those points on this game specifically. Kabuto the Python got 710. Now Kabuto and Baxter both their damage output wasn't showing their potential as wizards. Their shaman, the miasmas, the -1s to hit, the annoying spells aren't shown on the numbers here, more or less. The Forest Goblins didn't really carry their weight as much as I thought they would. They only got 477 points for the whole tournament, but I mean, they really did help as a medium chaff unit, and they also killed off a good chunk of people as well. So I think that they're not horrible. I think I'm going to continue using them, even though poison's going to be gone. It's just going to mean that I'm going to have to play them a little bit differently, and they're going to also have some magic support coming up. The Ard boys, they actually did carry their weight and how much they were worth, and they killed off 730 points. And not only kill off, I mean like big wounds on like generals and wounds on like random things that were coming their way. So the Ard boys really did carry their weight. The Horde did not carry their weight, and this is the second time I've done this where I've actually marked out how many points each unit has done. And the Savages, when I used to carry them in 8th edition Warhammer, they did the same thing. It's just a lot of points in one unit, and they didn't really put out the damage potential. Now, granted, they did win a lot of combats, and they did make a lot of units break and run. But the thing is, I held them back for most of the games just because I'm shooting at the other opponent and making them come to me. I think that their biggest draw is that they cause this fear in the opponent, like, oh shit, this big unit's coming. So they kind of like, they sit back for a turn or two before they go into the Horde. The Squigs, on the other hand, they did carry their weight. They got 956 points for the tournament. They didn't do much in this round. If they did do much in this round, they probably would have been closer to the top of the list, more or less. The Git launchers both did a total of 842 points for the tournament. They didn't do anything in this game, and unfortunately, I think they would have got more if my opponents didn't get lucky ward saves and stuff like that. Because there was a couple of opponents where I'm just shooting Git launchers at their generals, and their generals have wards. And then the Wolf Riders didn't do shit. They were there for chaff. They got 31 points, and that leaves the A-Rock, and the A-Rock got a whopping 1,800 points, 1843 for the tournament. The A-Rock is the tournament MVP, guys. The A-Rock was just wonderful. She caused a lot of units to run. She did a good job with Thunderstomps, and I think it's the way I played her. I think that the web launcher got a lot of points in some occasions, causing them to come to me, and she really wasn't ever in danger except for that one game where she's taken on 2 units against the Kingdom of Ecotane. But she lived every round, which was phenomenal, except for the Kingdom of Ecotane turn. I mean, technically everybody died. My whole army died on Kingdom of Ecotane. But the A-Rock was alive here and would have been able to continue putting out more damage if we would have won another 2 rounds on this last game. So A-Rock, not only did she kill 1,843 points, but per point for her cost, she is well over the mark of how she killed more than 5 times her amount in her cost. So by the most of everybody else. So she's definitely the tournament MVP. Now for the rest of the tournament, I promised you guys I would go ahead and do an army rundown and of like show you different lists of, or not lists, but different armies that were there at Ocon. And the thing is, I am gonna do that, but I'm gonna save it for after Brawlers, because when I get to Brawlers, I'm gonna just combine both of them together, and you guys could see a detailed like armies on parade kind of deal of all the armies that I took pictures of. Some of the pictures come out blurry, unfortunately, and I try to not to, but you know, sometimes the camera doesn't work with me. And then we're going to go over really quick the end ceremony. Andrew Sherman here was going ahead and talking over with everybody, basically that we were one of the biggest, or we are the biggest tournament that has gone on in the Midwest. So 41 people showed up for Ocon for 9th Age specifically. 40K, Kings of War, everything else that was scheduled fell apart, and the only thing that stuck was the 9th Age, which is pretty good. Here's a picture of everybody who was just kind of sitting there and just people listening to him, and then a couple of my opponents are there. Which you could see, kind of. He started going over the raffle, and I decided to go take a piss when he went to go get to the raffle. And when he did that, apparently it was only like one raffle ticket called, and then they decided to say who the winners of the Golden Buckeyes was. And Tim, my first opponent in the tag team tournament with the Dark Elf army, he actually brought a Chaos army. And it's a beautiful Chaos army, or Warriors of the Dark Gods. Pestilence themed army, and I got pictures of that, which I will show you because I think that army is just gorgeous. But he had a couple of units in the Buckeye showcase, and he won with his Goblin diorama. He won the whole thing with the Goblin diorama. My large target, I believe, which was the large unit, which was my General Dread, he actually won large unit, and then somebody else won small unit. Here's a picture of Fergus talking about the WCW GT that's coming up very soon. And then this is also talking about, I believe this is Siege at the Tower. I forgot the guy's name, though, that's talking about that. And then besides that, they're talking about other tournaments. And we're going to go over, everybody's winning. They have prize support for everybody who played, basically. So everybody who plays gets to go home and walk away with some toy that's on the table. So I'm watching everybody, and then they exclude my name, and then as they exclude my name, they talk about the people who we didn't call won something else, so they're not going to win one of these prizes. And sure enough, bam! I got on top there, and I'm like, what the hell is this, you know? So I'm sitting there with a group of guys that are on top, right? And check it out. I won Best Painted Army of the Ocon GT. I'm in shock here. I'm like, holy shit! I actually won a GT tournament with for the best paint, and I'm happy about that. That's awesome. Other people in the picture there, the guy in the back in the bright green, that's actually Tim. Tim won the Player's Choice Award. On the left, the guy, oh man, I forgot his name. I have it here on the Ocon page. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. I believe that's Neil. Is that Neil or Kent? Yeah, no, it's Neil. Neil Hamilton. He won the award called Close But Not So Quite. And then in the back with the red hat, that is Jay Ferris. Jay Ferris won Best Sportsman. He won. He beat my friend Ian by 1 point. 1 point. He beat Ian. And then over here, this is Len with his Lizardman army that I always face again. He actually won the Best General Award, and he got that spear right there. That's my rival from WCW. And then over here, this is Mike Hernandez, and he won the Best Overall from Detroit Warhammer Club. And yeah, that was it. And top it off, I go home, or we're on the road, and we're checking points to see how we did. And I ended up in the top 10. So I am extremely powerful. I'm extremely happy about that because I was trying to get into the top 10. I missed out maybe like 1 or 2 points from being like right under Jake Murphy, but I'm still happy about that. If I would have had that last game go a different way, that would have been 7 points roughly that I could have got. Even if I just worried about the objectives. If I were worried about the objectives, I would have been pushed up even higher. But I'm not complaining because I'm in the top 10, and it puts me in a good spot. I'm going to Brawlers now, and hopefully I could finish strong in the Brawlers. That way I could be pushed into potentially going into the Masters. And that's kind of my goal right now, is to try to do either Adepticon or Brawlers and finish really good so I could go into Masters and have some good winning in my favor. And that way you guys get pictures of people at the Masters tournaments instead of just the people that I play in local tournaments. So we'll see how that goes, guys. But besides that, guys, I hope you've been enjoying these videos I've been putting up. I'm doing I'm really trying to pump them out here, and you know, besides that, I mean, if you guys feel like you could support my cause for either my trip or my batteries, you go to the support button on my YouTube channel page and hit it. It's on the right side, and donate whatever you feel like donating. If you guys feel like any comments or feedback are needed about the game or about any of the things I talked about, just go ahead and put it in the comment section below. I'll be glad to address it. I usually address most of the things that you guys put up there. And then besides that, I'm running out of things to say, and I'm just rambling. So I'm actually going later today, to go play Once Bitten over in Durham over at Atomic Empire where Brawlers Bash is being held. I don't think Once Bitten is actually playing in the tournament, so I got a game with him just separate from the tournament, so that way I can kind of just say, hey, I played Once Bitten. So guys, that'll wrap up my round 5 and wrap up Ocon. I had a blast. I'm not going to deny that any bit. I had a great time. It's unfortunate right now 'cause I'm going to Brawlers, but my brother's not going to be there, so that kind of takes away a little bit of like the fun for me because my brother and I just kind of feed off of each other's energy. And but I will see Ian out there, and that way I do know somebody that I'm going out there to play again with, more or less. And besides that, I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.